So I like a lot of the things that are going on with this dragonfly. I think that when it's all done, it is going to be kind of like awesomely cartoonish. I would exaggerate the size of the wings and maybe the eyes and, try to balance this tail out. But the reason that I'm making this is that it's got a couple of edge flow issues. You can see when it gets up here that you're starting to get these looping shapes here, here, and here. And those are indicative of n-gons, things that break your edge flow. So what I'm going to do is talk a little bit about how to find them, why they're bad, and just a couple of techniques that you can use for fixing them. So step one, 9 times out of 10 you can see n-gons just by looking for these little arch shapes when your model is in 3 mode. These two mean that this edge is broken. If I look at it in 1 mode, it looks perfectly straight, but it's not. It is 2 segments. So this face here has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 edges, making it an n-gon. This one here is even more dramatic. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 edges. That's a 7-sided n-gon. And again, in 1 mode it looks like a quad, but it is not. It is an n-gon. So I'm guessing what happened here is that you put in a bunch of edges so that you could start attaching the legs, and the edges that you put in just didn't go all the way around, which is kind of good because admittedly you don't need them to go all the way around, but you do need them to end somewhere. So, for example, this one right here, it kind of ends in the middle of this edge, but edges really want to loop. So if I were to delete this one, I could take it and use my multi-cut tool, click on this vertex, click on this vertex, press enter, and now I've got a triangle. I've actually still got an n-gon because I left a vertex in here. There's my vertex, so I'd still have to delete that. But before I go seriously about fixing these, I want to show you a couple of other things. First, in Shift right click, there is a command called cleanup. In cleanup, what you want to do is you want to select matching polygons. I know it's tempting to try the actual cleanup command, but it really messes up your geometry sometimes, so I usually recommend select, which just helps you identify the problem area, and then you can fix it by yourself. So I'm going to select, and then I'm just going to check the button for faces with more than 4 sides, although as you go through here you'll see that it will look for many, many more problems. So when I hit apply, I can see this area here that I found before, this area over here that has those same funny arch shapes, and then there's this thing back here on the tail that I couldn't see with my bare eyes, and then this side is symmetric. So to fix this whole thing up, I'm going to start back here and just go to vertex mode and see what's going on. It looks like back here there were some edges that were deleted. When you delete an edge, it leaves the vertices behind. So if I just pop in here and make a big box like this, when I press delete, only the left behind vertices will be deleted. So they are pretty easy to get used to. So now let's come up here and tackle this issue. I'm going to try turning on Object X symmetry. And let's see if that works for me. We'll just come over here. Oh, you don't like it? Okay, how about World X? Will that... Nope. Object Z? Okay, so it looks like symmetry isn't going to work for us here. So I guess we'll just have to do one side and then mirror over to the other. With all of these edges, the first thing I want to know is where are they going and do I really need them? So when I double click on this one, it looks like it's running from here over into this leg where it is creating another n-gon. And that means that this is an edge that you don't really need. So I'm going to hold down my Control key and then delete it. Control and delete will delete both the edge and all of the vertices. So if I go into vertex mode, you'll see that no vertices were left behind, and now this whole area here is nice and clean. So I'll do the same thing here. Let's go into edge mode, double click this, and this one extends from this face down into the corner of this leg. So I do need something over here. This one extends down all the way through the leg, and this one goes to the other corner of the leg. So now I've got some choices. In all three of these cases, or perhaps I should say in these two cases, I can still take these edges and Control Delete. That's going to leave me with 3 n-gons, here, here, and here. So at this point I'm going to start putting in some triangles with my Shift right click menu and my multi-cut tool. Multi-cut is much easier to work with in one mode. So while I'm in one mode, what I'm going to do is say, okay, this area here is my n-gon. You can see that's this thing, this thing. So this vertex is the problem, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it over to here and then back over to here. So I've put in 2 triangles. When I press enter, I'll just press Q, we'll go back to 3, and now I've got a 4-sided face, a 4-sided face, and then these 2 triangles here. Triangles are always better than n-gons. They do still break edge flow, but this loop should go all the way around, and that's going to make the problem a little bit better when it gets up to here. So that's one way to do it. I could have also split from this vertex out to this edge. That would have been fine too. I just kind of wanted my triangle pointing inwards. I think that's going to work nicely for that area. I guess I will fix this off by putting in another triangle here, and in this case what I'm going to do is just take these 2 vertices, Shift right click, merge vertices, and merge vertices to center, which will convert this into a triangle, but will hopefully help the face to round out. Let's go further. Maybe I want my triangle moved back to here. It really depends on where I've got the most details. So you can keep going as far as you want with that. You will have a triangle eventually. Well, let's see, what does that look like? And then maybe if I take this, split this up to here, no, I liked it better the other way. There are lots of ways you can do this, and this is part of a process called retopologizing, which is a much bigger discussion than I usually get into in this class because it can be very complicated. In it, you get to make a lot of decisions about the way you want your edges to flow, particularly if you are going to be animating or UV mapping the model. This area here is technically fine, but would be a mess for UV mapping or for animating. It's still better than having n-gons. I might go back to something like this and just let this relax a little bit more. But you do have lots of options. So let's do something similar back here. Back here I've got this face that is a gigantic n-gon, and when I look at these edges, I've got this one that goes down the leg and then up into the corner of that leg, this one that goes all the way through the 2 legs and up into this point, and this one that goes from the corner of this leg all the way through this leg. So here's a big question. Do I really need this edge? You probably do. Probably. I don't know. Let's see what the model looks like without it. I'm going to Control Delete. Go into 3 mode. I mean, it would solve a lot of edge flow problems. So let's just live without it for a little bit. And what I'll do is I'll just come out here, and with multi-cut, I'm just going to come here to there, and then go here to there, and that'll split all that up. Maybe I do want to go out to here. Oh, I don't know. This is a tough one. At any rate, when I look at this side, I shouldn't have any problems. This side will still be problematic. So I'm going to go ahead and try mirroring again. Hey there. Okay, now I want to flip the other way. Yes, 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 yes. It did seem to get a little thin, so maybe I need to do a little tweak there. But that looks good. That looks slightly better. So let's take this, and again, just hit apply for the cleanup, deselected the model, and that means that all of the n-gons are gone. So go ahead, see what you can do with your n-gons. I understand why you wanted to put all of those edges in there, but see if you can remove a few of them. Don't forget to hold down the Control key anytime you're deleting an edge, because that will remove the vertices associated with it as well. Good luck, and keep giving it these nice bubbly exaggerated proportions. Maybe like really big eyes up here will make it look super awesome and fun. But keep going. It's going to be a really nice project when you're done.